Welcome everybody. This is Tian, your host for today's webinar. And today is Wednesday, the 15th of July, 2026. I hope everybody is doing fine. Just let me know if you can hear my voice and see the welcome screen. Okay, fantastic. Hi there, Elena. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for confirming. Good. I see we still have people coming in here. I see Alfred, Tom. Welcome everyone. Okay, right. So the markets are quite volatile today, even though there's risk on. I can see the Nasdaq and S&P is taking a bit of a nosedive. So it's just volatility. Um, we can have a look at the charts a bit later, but I think it will recover, just like it always does. Anyway, before we get started, I need to make mention that I'm not a financial advisor, and neither anybody here at KriekTrade are financial advisors. And this means I can teach you my strategies, I can point out to you where I personally would want to buy and sell, but the actual trading decision you're still going to have to make yourself. Right. Um, so let's see, or let's hear a little bit about me. I am Tian Kriek. I live here in Portugal, but I hail from South Africa. Beautiful, lovely South Africa. And I have trained thousands of people how to analyze and trade the financial markets. And my mantra is that the market is a mirror. It's almost like it can sense your fear. So if you are going to fear loss, then you're going to invite it. So stay fearless, stay focused, stick to your system, and you're likely going to make more money than what you're going to lose. That's the most important thing, is to make more money than what you are losing. Right. Now, what I am going to do today is I've already logged into the trading platform. I've already clicked on the briefing here, and I've loaded a daily briefing. You can clearly see that the risk gauge is at 90, which means we're going to go long risk assets like we've always been doing, buying stocks, selling the Japanese yen versus high yielding currencies, selling the Swiss franc versus high yielding currencies, and buying crypto and so on. And what's quite interesting is that um, Bitcoin is now bullish. It's tradable after this long drought of many months of it actually consolidating and retracing. So I'd like to go and have a look at that. But if you have any questions, any requests, type it here in the chat box. Because normally I just start waffling off and then we waste so much time. I'd like to take more requests this time, and then we can analyze the markets top to bottom, or the symbol that you request. We can analyze that top to bottom, because I'd like to show you some of the tools that we have here in the dashboard, especially asset valuation. Okay, with that being said, I'm going to dive into Bitcoin. Oh, by the way, I saw today in the daily briefing, the email that also went out, that Bitcoin is bullish. There's a setup confirmed with a target at 66,421. So let's go and have a look at that. So I'm just going to click on charts. I'm going to load Bitcoin, BTC USD, load that one. There's the chart, and this is the purple line, 45 period exponential moving average. Yesterday's bullish daily candlestick propelled this one above the 45 period exponential moving average. Today's daily candlestick opened up above it, so it's bullish. It's confirmed bullish. It's lovely. I can see that we've got bullish momentum. There we go. I can see that we have excuse me, this is the momentum indicator. There we go. And we have bullish volume. We also have the RSI that recently crossed its own moving average, which is a bullish signal, and it's coming from an oversold condition. So that's great. I like this. We don't really have a golden cross to draw an up Fibonacci on the daily chart, but we actually do have one on a 1-hour chart. So I'm just going to open up the 1-hour chart. Remember, if you want to maximize a chart, just double click on the chart. So there's the up Fibonacci ABCD swing. You can see it here. There's the A, there's the B, there's the C, and now we're heading to the D extension. The D extension, the target is the 1.618, the D extension, because this one retraced to the 382 retracement. It just touched the 382 retracement, but that means it's going to go up to the 1.618, and therefore we have this target at 66,421. Currently, Bitcoin is trading at 65,032, so there's definitely an opportunity here. Would it be nice to, excuse me, would it be nice to actually catch that one when it retraced to the C? But the problem is when that retracement happened, the daily chart was not above the 45 period exponential moving average yet. Okay, right. So I like that. And if you want to see how come there's an up Fibonacci ABCD swing, you can go and draw the 144 and 377 exponential moving average. Here they are. You can see there's a golden cross right over here. That's the golden cross. So that's why we have an up Fibonacci ABCD swing. So it's nice to see when it's working for a change. You can go and click on the buy and sell marker. There was a buy signal. Okay, and the reason we have that buy signal over there is because the RSI crossed up. But again, would it be nice to take that one, but the market, we weren't above the 45 period exponential moving average on the daily chart yet. With regards to patterns, let's see. Do we have any patterns? No. Harmonic patterns? No. Anything on the daily chart? Oh, there's a falling wedge. Oh, wow, that's nice. A falling wedge is a bullish pattern. So expect this one to break to the upside. That's nice. I like what I'm seeing there. Do we have a harmonic pattern? We have a huge one here, a cipher pattern with a target at 109. Okay, remember when you get to a harmonic pattern like this, the X is always your first port of call, and then you have your A, B, C, and then the D. The D is the point where the market starts to go up. So you can see it was consolidating here. Try to make a new low, but I think we're going to go up now. And then the A is the target, and that's at 109. So let's hope this one goes to 109. So that's Bitcoin. Also another thing, if you want to draw some trend lines, you can draw them manually by using the drawing tool here. Like there was a nice trend that was broken to the upside. The market came back and tested the backside of that. If you want to delete it, click on it and press the delete button. Or you can let it draw the automated trend lines for you by clicking on the Dow channels. Okay, now I call this the Dow channels because it's based on the Dow theory, where you have a trend. So this is the primary trend. the blue lines. Then you have the secondary trend, which is the cycle within the primary trend, and then you have this one over here, the smaller one, which is the minor trend. Each trend, they have an intermediate line that will act as a level or a pivotal level of support and resistance. You can see how the market has been reacting against the intermediate line, the line in the middle. So that's always a very nice, like a dynamic pivotal level to watch out for. You know, wait for the market to rather break through that if it is close to it. Now, this minor trend over here, the pink trend here, this one is replicated on the 1 hour chart. So there's the 1 hour chart. You can see there's the minor trend, and the market is approaching the intermediate line here, but not against it yet. So for those of you who were looking to trade Bitcoin, according to what I'm seeing here, it is bullish. It's bullish confirmed. There's a target. Let's draw the stop loss and the target. There we go. A target at 66,421. Once that target is hit, then we're going to have to wait for a new ABCD Fibonacci swing, and then there will be a new target that's higher. But if you want to go and do and trade for the long term, then I would follow this harmonic pattern, cipher pattern target at 109,312. Okay, so that's what we have from Bitcoin. But now I've shown you the chart. The chart is telling us that it's bullish because of the risk gauge that's also a bullish. And then also because of the 18.6-year cycle, because now my methodology is based, or part of the methodology is based on the 18.6-year property cycle, where every 18.6 years you basically get a recession. I expect a recession to happen mid-2027, and according to this, I should be buying risky assets, so I wouldn't be selling it even if I get a sell signal. Now, if you want to play around with more of a microeconomic analysis of an asset, or a symbol, then you can go and click on the asset valuation. So let's see what report it would generate for Bitcoin, because there's very interesting things that come out. For instance, if you generate a report on gold, it would tell you how much gold each country actually has, and how much it's buying and how much it's selling. It just gives you a different take on the actual asset that you're looking at. So first of all, it gives you like an executive summary, tells you why it's bullish. We've got a risk on situation, and it's above the 45 period exponential moving average. That's so nice to to get that confirmation. If you look at the chart and you don't really know what's happening on the chart, then just look at the actual asset valuation. It would tell you why it is giving a signal or pointing in a certain direction. Here we have some key valuation metrics. Okay, so that's the price. The strategic takeaway is that it's holding above the 45 period exponential moving average. The market cap of Bitcoin is $1.28 trillion. Gold is $14 trillion. So it's not nearly as big as gold. The strategic takeaway here is the significant upside here. Okay, because it's not, it's not necessarily a commodity, but it is a store of value. And if you compare this to gold, then there's a lot of upside potential in Bitcoin. Dominance, it dominates 54% of the crypto market. It is highly liquid, which is great for day trading. Active addresses, basically accounts on the blockchain, is 950,000. So it's not one of these pump and dump cryptos. It's really a stalwart, foundational crypto of the whole industry. Then you can go and read here about the macroeconomic and geopolitical landscape. It's talking about the 18.6-year cycle again. Excuse me, talking about Chinese data, recent news, and fundamental catalysts. Very interesting read. And then valuation analysis. So here it's going to try and value it based on like a combination of a microeconomic and a macroeconomic model. And it says here that the fair value range is around about 68 to 72,000, which is above the current target. Isn't that interesting? Because the current target is at 66,000. So yeah, go and have a look at this asset valuation. If there's anything that you want to trade, you might think about clicking on the asset valuation link and then typing it in here. If it's a commodity or a currency or a stock, it will give you some good data, some good benchmarks to have a look at. All right, so that was Bitcoin. Now, considering that Bitcoin is bullish, I wonder what we have from the rest of the crypto market. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole each crypto symbol, um, uh, one by one, because that's just going to take the whole day. So therefore, I can have a look at the scanner. Let's click on the scanner. It will scan a whole lot of symbols, including crypto. So I'm going to filter this by crypto. And then I am going to sort them by signal. So there's quite a few where a bullish setup has been confirmed. Quite a few here. Okay, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. I think this is Binance coin. This is the Tether, which is basically just um, it is related to the US dollar, and it's actually one-to-one to the US dollar. Okay, Zcash, Litecoin, Uniswap, and then there's another Bitcoin here. All right. Oh, this is Bitcoin versus the US dollar. That is Bitcoin versus Tether. Okay. So we had a look at Bitcoin. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Now, if I want to open up Ethereum in the chart, I can just move my mouse to the right and click on Show Chart, and then it will open that in the chart. It says here that there's a double bottom pattern. The direction is bullish. There's a bullish setup confirmed. There's a target at 2,283. The recent price is 1,919. So there's also a lot of upside potential here. So let's show this one in the chart and see what happens. Okay, so now we know why it's bullish. It's because this one also moved above its own 45 period exponential moving average. So that's great. Do we have an up Fibonacci? No, we don't. It says here the Fibonacci's are suppressed because the current swing is bearish. So if you draw the 144 and 377 exponential moving average, you'll see that there's a death cross over here. So that's why it could not draw an up Fibonacci yet. But the mere fact that it is above the 45 period exponential moving average makes it tradable. So then I can turn to the 1 hour chart and I can actually look for a target here. So let's see what the Fibonacci is doing. So there we go. Let's clean up the chart a bit. Take away that harmonic pattern, take away the moving averages. So there's an up Fibonacci ABCD swing. Here we have the A. Over there we have the B. And then there was a retracement to the 236 level. The 236 retracement level. There's your C. So that's a very shallow retracement, and because it only retraced to that level, I cannot assume that it will go up to the 1.618. It's likely going to extend higher to the 2.618 at 2,283, and it's trending higher. Look at that. It's heading up. So this is nice. I like this. I have been auto trading Ethereum. It is added to my paper trading account. There we go, Ethereum. I don't see any P&L here. Take a screenshot and find out why. Oh, it just took it took some time to update. Okay, okay. It takes a while to update. That's all. But my entry was at 2,180. I've been stuck in this trade for so long. So that's why it is showing a minus. But the Aussie yen and the Euro yen is doing very well. Not too shabby. Bitcoin also in a loss here. All right. So that's the paper trading. Now, how did I get to this point? How did I get to trade Ethereum? I mean, how did I enter the trade? That you're going to do in the portfolio. Okay, you can add it to your portfolio. You can select auto trading, and then it will auto trade it for you, or you can manually click buy or sell. All right, and you can select the strategy. If you want to auto trade, you can select the strategy that you want to trade. This one is currently on the swing trading strategy, which is providing 457%. That's the compound annual growth rate. Goodness, that is when this thing starts running, then this swing trading strategy is actually doing very well on Ethereum. That's nice. Let's go test it. Click on the back tester, Ethereum swing trading strategy. Let's test it from 5 years ago. Let's start with $10,000 capital and risk 1% on a trade. Run the back test, see what happens. I see it's only taken 8 trades in this back test. The back tester isn't pulling data from 2021. Let me take a screenshot here. We'll get that fixed. Back to the portfolio. Take an image of Ethereum. Oh, 57.7%. Right, made a note there. If you don't have Ethereum in your portfolio, you can go to the scanner. Then you can scroll, you can search for Ethereum. I can just search for it, Ethereum. There we go. And then you can click on add to portfolio. Mine has got a little check mark here because it has already been added to the portfolio. But if it's not added to your portfolio, you can just click there, add to portfolio, then it will add it to your portfolio. And then once you are inside your portfolio, you can decide what you want to do with it. because you can manually trade it, or you can select auto trading and select the strategy that you want to trade. Now, it will suggest the best strategy based on the performance of that strategy. Like for instance, buying and holding it is only yielding 54% per annum. Okay, now let's go back to the portfolio here. It's only yielding 54% over a 5-year period. But trading it with a swing trading strategy yields much more. Okay, I've been waffling off here about Ethereum. Do we have any symbols that anybody wants to suggest? Any stocks, any commodities, anything? I have now discussed Bitcoin. I have discussed Ethereum. The Swiss franc has been weakening quite a bit. I want to talk about that one. For that purpose, I'm going to go to the scanner. I just want to see if we have a Swiss franc index in the indexes here. Okay, those are the indexes. There's a euro currency index, Australian dollar, British pound, Canadian dollar index. Doesn't look like we have one. Oh, there we go. Swiss franc currency index. Nice. It says here that this one is bearish. So let's go show the chart. Okay. I actually want to see the current swing as bearish. This one is below the 45 period exponential moving average. Let's have a look at the Fibonacci's. Okay, there's an up fib here, but because it's below the 45 period exponential moving average, I'm not even going to worry about that. Let's just think about this for a moment. The narrative for the market at this point is risk on, which means the Swiss franc should be weakening. And finally, it started to weaken, which is great. This actually looks like a nice bearish head and shoulders pattern. Look at that. That looks nice. Let's draw some trend lines and see what's happening here. So there was a bullish primary trend, there was a bullish secondary trend, and at least now there's a bearish minor trend. Let's have a look at this minor trend here. There we go. There's a little bit of a retracement, but I'm perfectly happy to sell the Swiss franc versus high yielding currencies such as the pound, the Australian dollar, the New Zealand dollar. And for that purpose, I can go back to the scanner, click on Forex. And the Aussie Swiss is bullish. Oh, it's waiting for a bullish setup. The Aussie Yen, there's a bullish setup confirmed. That's nice. I want to start looking at the Aussie Swiss first. Alfred's asking for the US 500, which is the S&P, and Rich is asking for the Euro Swiss and Pound Swiss. Okay, absolutely, we can do that. So this is the Aussie Swiss. The Aussie Swiss is bullish. It's recently moved above its 45 period exponential moving average, which is lovely, which means this one is likely going to continue higher. I don't know if there's an up fib. Oh, there is. Look at that. Nice one. Here's the A. There's the B. And then there was a super shallow retracement. So the D extension is actually the 2.618. Wow, at 6,800. That's like 1,200 pips away from where we are now. Imagine that. I like what I'm seeing here. This is the 1 hour chart. It's saying waiting for a bullish setup. So the RSI at the bottom here needs to cross its own moving average to the upside, and then that will be a valid signal. So I guess I'll wait for that. Seeing a bit of a retracement here. And Let's quickly have a look at the Aussie Swiss and then I'll take those requests. Excuse me, Aussie Yen. This is the Aussie Yen. Bullish. Also, super shallow retracement, de-extension, the 2.618 at 125. The market is currently at 112 or 113. So that's also 1,200 pips of upside potential. Look at that. This one is above the 45 period exponential moving average. So that's the daily situation. Do we have any patterns? Oh, yes, yeah, falling wedge. Nice one. Like, look at that. Such a lovely pattern that, because a falling wedge is a continuation pattern. It's a bullish pattern, regardless of what trend you find it. You know, if you find it at the top of a bull trend, then it signals continuation. If you find it at the bottom of a bear trend, it signals reversal. Bullish it is. Let's have a look at the 1 hour chart. That's the up fib, up ABCD swing. Let's draw the, oh yeah, there we go. So the 144 and 377 exponential moving average, we do have a golden cross. That's why it has drawn the B high over here. And the market retraced to, oh, it failed to hit the, it failed to hit the 382. That is a 236 retracement, unless my eyes are deceiving me. The D extension should be the 2.618. Make a note of that too. It should actually be going higher. So the target should be higher. All right, but anyway, there is a buy signal. It's looking good. All right. Now, those requests. I'll start with the first one, which is Alfred asking for the S&P 500. I want to start with a scanner this time. And I want to click on indexes and let's look at the S&P 500. There's the SPX, which is basically an ETF of the S&P. I guess we can open up this one. I don't see anything else here. Germany. All right, let's go open up this one. It does say that it's bullish. It is saying here that it's waiting for a bullish setup, but there's an inverted head and shoulders and a rising wedge. There's a target at 8491, but the market is currently at 7538. So it looks like this one's also going to move substantially higher. Rich is saying, great seeing the death and the golden crosses on the fibs. Thanks. That's a pleasure, my friend. I'm glad you are enjoying that. Okay, so SPX. Loading candles. Okay, so this one is bullish. It's above the 45 period exponential moving average. It should not be giving me a sell signal or a bearish pattern. It should be giving me a bullish pattern, and you can see that it changed to an inverted head and shoulders pattern, suggesting that it will move substantially higher. The inverted head and shoulders target is at 8,152. So this is looking good. What do we have from this? Is there any harmonic patterns? No, I don't see anything. There was a big cipher pattern here, but that one failed because we're in a bullish narrative. Fibonacci. Oh yeah, look at that. There's the up fibs, up AB with the D extend. The retracement didn't even hit the 236, so the D is at 9,716. Crazy, I tell you. That is so much higher. So while we are in this bullish cycle until next year, I wouldn't be selling even if this one moves below the 45 period exponential moving average. I would not be selling anything at all. I would only be looking for buy signals on the S&P. So this is the daily time frame. Let's see what's happening with the 1 hour. There's a nice uptrend here. Looks like it's testing support at the moment. Any patterns? No. Harmonic patterns? No. The 1 hour Fibonacci, there it is. Up ABCD swing with the D extension at 8,491. And let's be fancy and enable the AI forecast. Click on hourly. And it shows it might be consolidating and move slightly higher until August. I guess we are entering a bit of a dead zone, but that's the AI forecast. The AI forecast will attempt to draw candlesticks into the future. But to answer your question there and give you a verdict there, Alfred, it's bullish. The S&P is bullish, and your nearest target is 8,491. And then Rich is asking for the Euro Swiss, so let's open up that one. I just want to disable all these indicators. Euro Swiss. Okay, this one is bullish. It's above the 45 period exponential moving average. It's talking about waiting for a bullish setup. So there is no buy signal on the 1 hour chart at the moment. Let me just go back to the daily, because there's something that I saw here. This is what I saw. Left tip, center tip, right tip. This is an inverted head and shoulders, suggesting it's going to move even higher. And that's likely going to fulfill or pan out, because the probability is bullish. We're above the 45 period exponential moving average. Let's draw some candlesticks into the future. Look at that. There's your AI candlesticks. A surge to the upside with the retracement before the market continues up again. So I like what I'm seeing there. Any patterns? No. This is the daily chart. Let's look at a Fibonacci. No, can't draw a Fibonacci. It says here the Fibonacci is suppressed because the current swing is bearish. Why is the current swing bearish? Because we have a death cross with the 144 and 377 exponential moving average. We need a golden cross. Then it will start looking for an up fib. So it's still early stages in this bull trend, and that's even more exciting. Looking forward to buying the Euro Swiss. What a pleasure. But it does say that I need to wait for a buy signal here. That's the up fib. Up AB boundary. This is lovely. I like what I'm seeing here. Look here. So there's the A. There's the B. And this one retraced to the 618 retracement level. And there's already a nice bullish 1 hour candlestick here. So this retracement might be over now that it's retraced to the C. So now it's heading up to the D. And the D is the D should be the 1.618, not the 127 extension. It came very close to the 786. I'm going to have to make an inquiry about that, but I think the D extension is the 1.618, not the 127. Anyway, the target is at 92, 94, and the market is currently trading at 92.33. So that's like a 70 pip upside potential. I'll confirm the retracement on that one, because it looks like it retraced to the 618. It missed the 786 with a few pips, but it didn't retrace to it. Right. Okay. All right. So that's the Euro Swiss. Finally, let's have a look at some trend lines. Massive down primary trend, down secondary trend, but it wants to break this resistance. We already have a bullish minor trend here. There it is. Let's just turn off the fibs. There it is. Look at that. Nice one. I think I know what happened here. This happened. Past resistance becomes future support. Resistance, 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 resistance. Then it broke that, and now it's come back to test it before we head up. Textbook. I like what I'm seeing here. I think the Euro Swiss is getting ready for a bounce. All right, so that's the Euro Swiss. Watch the scanner or watch the chart. What you can do is you can enable the buy and sell markers here. There was a buy signal on the 14th of July, but the market made a new low. But there will be a new buy signal if you see the RSI cross its own moving average to the upside. But because there's already an up Fibonacci ABCD swing happening here, you can click on stop loss and target, and it should give you a stop loss. There's the stop loss at 92.02. There's the entry if you're going to enter the trade now at 92.33 with the target at 92.94 with a risk reward of 1.2. That's nice. Look at this. For each dollar you're risking, you'll be making $2. Nice risk reward ratio there as well. All right, so that's the Euro Swiss, and then the Pound Swiss was the next request. There we go. Pound Swiss down primary trend, down secondary trend, but this one is above the 45 period exponential moving average. Look at this. Wow, look at that. Nice one. Above the 45 period exponential moving average, so that's bullish. Any patterns? No, don't see anything here. AI forecast. It shows it's going to continue up to around about 1.1, which is a round number, and then we're going to see a bit of a retracement before it recovers. And this is the 1 hour chart. Gosh, that is a huge jump, huh? Wow. Nice one. There's no patterns, but let's look at a stop loss and a target. Oh, it hit the target. It hit the target already. It's saying here, wait for a bullish setup. Okay, so do we have a fib? Oh, we actually do have a fib. Oh, this is the thing. It the RSI, you missed the entry. The entry was on 14th of July. There. Oh, that wasn't the entry. The entry was here. Sorry, that was when the market retraced. That was the C. Let's click on buy and sell markers. Oh, there's nothing. Well, there should have been a buy there. Okay, another thing I need to find out why it didn't give me a buy there. But because, I mean, this should have been a buy signal. It retraced, formed the C, and then the RSI crossed its own moving average. That should have been a buy. However, a buy or no buy, there is a target. And that D extension is at the 2.618. at 1.1356, and the market is currently trading at, where's the market trading at? 1.0916. So that is 400 pips away, more than 400 pips. The stop loss and target here is also a bit out of whack. Okay, we'll find out why that's doing that, but just follow the Fibonacci D extension if the target hasn't been updated. But to answer your question about the pound Swiss, it is bullish, and there is a buy in my opinion, and there's a target that's 400 pips away. Interestingly enough, let me just see if there's any asset valuation or any metrics or anything interesting we can see from the pound Swiss. Okay, risk on. Okay, that's the spot rate. The yield is, oh, this is interesting. The yield is 3.8%. That's the yield differential. Meaning if you just go long pound Swiss, you'll actually be earning overnight interest to the amount of 3.8% a year. The 12-month inflation difference is 1.2%. So inflation is higher in the UK than in Switzerland. So the pound retains a real yield advantage, and that's why you earn money by holding a pound Swiss. Trade. The central bank stance for the UK is hawkish or neutral, but it is dovish for the Swiss National Bank. It does say here that Swiss National Bank intervention remains elevated. And then it's talking about the macroeconomic and geopolitical landscape. It's talking about traders should monitor the Chancellor Reeves Mansion House speech on July the 15th, which is today. It's a primary liquidity event for the pound. Oh, is that why the pound is jumping like this? You see, we should be looking at the asset valuations. That's such a nice tool to have. I think that's why the pound is jumping like that. Let's see if we've got a pound index. Because the pound index will tell us if it's the Swiss franc that's weakening or the pound that's strengthening. Go to the scanner. Go to indexes. British pound currency index. Show chart. This is a huge jump in the pound today. Okay, so that's the case. That's why the pound has been jumping like this. Let's have a look at the AI candlesticks and see if it's got more legs. Okay, up a little bit, retrace, and then go up again. All right. Okay, well, it looks like there's a lot of opportunities in the market here today and for the next few months. Just keep on having a look at the scanner and see what's aligned and what's not aligned. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any questions, you can ask the AI assistant. You know, like, should I trade the pound Swiss today? You know, or what is the target? Or what is the target? Or anything. And it will come up with an answer. It says here for the pound Swiss, the current status is wait for a bullish setup. The price is currently at 108 with a swing position target at 1.18. Okay. And then you can say, but how did you get to the target? Then it will explain the Fibonacci's and all that. So remember that you have an AI assistant. You've got a lot of tools here in this dashboard at your disposal to make sure that you are trading in the right direction. Okay. And hopefully making more money than what you are losing. Okay. All right. Anyway, that's enough for me today. I really appreciate you guys listening to me today. Thank you for your, as always, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your trust. And I look forward to seeing you next week. And you'll receive an email with the recording when the recording is ready to come back and have a look at the recording. And the the past few days, there was 2 daily briefings that went out on email, everybody. I don't know if you received it, but it was a glitch in the system. It sent 2. So hopefully that is now also fixed. But it's looking good. It's looking good. The dashboard is nice and fast, and it's responsive. I like that. As always, I also appreciate feedback. Thanks, everybody. This is your friend from Portugal, Tian Kriek. Have a good one.